Welcome to today's custom-tailored exploration into the source material. I am so glad you, our perpetually curious listener, are joining us.
Yeah, it's going to be a really good one today. We've got a lot to cover.
We really do. We are pulling from a structured study plan, a detailed Q&A breakdown, and this really fascinating video transcript from a lymphatic drainage therapist who has over 25 years of clinical experience.
25 years. I mean, you see a lot in that time.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So our mission today is basically to map out this hidden geography of the body's lymphatic system.
Mm-hmm.
We want to find out why modern life is, essentially turning our tissues into a toxic dumping ground.
Right. And we really need to separate the viral social media trends from the actual physiological science because there is a lot of misinformation out there right now.
Yes, so much misinformation.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just jump right in, because if you look at a classic anatomy poster in a doctor's office, everything is perfectly color-coded, right?
Right, yeah.
You've got the red arteries, the blue veins, all these prominent muscles. But they completely leave out this massive hidden internal network.
They really do. And to even understand why things are breaking down for people, we have to define what this hidden system actually is.
Okay, let's unpack this. What exactly are we looking at here?
Well, the lymphatic system is this vast network of vessels, nodes, and immune cells. And they all live in the interstitial fluid.
And that's the fluid sitting right between your bones and your skin tissue.
Exactly. It basically acts as your body's cleansing network. So it's processing waste right alongside your liver, your kidneys, the adrenals, the spleen.
So it's like if the cardiovascular system is the city's flashy public transit, constantly thumping cars through the streets, the lymphatic system is the underground sanitation department.
I love that analogy, yes. But there's a major catch here.
Uh-oh. What's the catch?
The sanitation department doesn't have an engine.
Wait, really?
Zero.
It has no pump.
No pump at all. It only moves when you walk on the streets above it, so your physical movement is literally the only pump it has.
Wow. Okay. But that makes me wonder, why was medical science just ignoring these garbage collectors for so long? I mean, the sources mention this was basically brushed over in medical and massage schools.
Yeah, well, what's fascinating here is that doctors were missing this entire system for decades simply because it wouldn't show up on a standard scan.
Like an MRI or an X-ray.
Right. We literally lacked the imaging capabilities to actually see lymphatic vessels the way we can see, like a bicep or a knee joint.
Oh, I see. So because it was invisible to their standard tools, they just didn't teach it.
Exactly. It was largely absent from the curriculum. But now that imaging technology is finally catching up, practitioners can study true lymphology.
Which is where things like the Vater method come in.
Yeah, they can use these really specialized European methodologies like the Vater method to map out these incredibly intricate pathways.
Okay, so if the system relies entirely on our movement to pump the trash out, and we are constantly, bombarding it with bad food while just sitting at a desk all day, it makes complete sense why it's struggling.
It's the perfect storm, really.
The sources use this brilliant trash curbside analogy. Like, missing 1 week of trash pickup is bad.
Yeah, it smells.
Right. But missing 4 weeks means you can't even park your car in the driveway because there's so much garbage.
And that is exactly what happens when fluid overloads our tissues.
So what are the main culprits driving this?
Well, it's all the hallmarks of modern life, really. Sedentary lifestyle, so, sitting at computers, commuting in cars.
The usual suspects.
Right. And inflammatory diets, like eating toxic oils from the drive-thru. And perhaps most significantly, chronic stress.
Okay, I have to push back on that last one.
Yeah.
I totally get how sitting all day or eating processed food creates literal physical waste in the body. But how does being in a psychological, fight or flight stress mode, like panicking over an email from your boss, how does that physically block the trash pickup in my body?
That's a great question. If we connect this to the bigger picture, the human body operates in two primary nervous system states. You have fight or flight, and you have rest and restore.
Okay.
When you are constantly stressed about that email, your nervous system locks you into survival mode.
So your body thinks a bear is chasing you, basically.
Exactly. And without entering that rest and restore phase, your body physically cannot perform the routine maintenance of dumping the garbage.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it can't efficiently clear out that interstitial waste and bring in freshly oxygenated blood.
Because it's prioritizing survival over, taking out the trash.
You got it. And that chronic stress leads directly to fluid retention, inflammation, and what the therapist in our sources calls dirty blood work.
That is wild. So if the system is this fragile and we're just locked in this stressed out survival mode all the time, It explains why everyone suddenly feels so puffy and sluggish these days.
It absolutely does.
But, my concern is what people are actually doing about it. Because I am seeing lymphatic drainage everywhere on TikTok right now.
Oh, yeah. It's totally viral.
And honestly, some of it looks violently aggressive.
Yeah, it really does. And that is a massive problem. The real science is deeply precise, not aggressive at all.
Like that Vader technique we mentioned earlier.
Exactly. That technique uses a very specific, gentle skin stretch. You can't just press hard into the muscle.
Why not?
Because lymphatic vessels are located right under the skin, and they're held open by these tiny anchoring filaments.
Okay.
When you gently stretch the skin in specific directions, you physically pull those microscopic doors open so the trapped fluid can drain out.
Oh, I see. So if you press too hard, you're just bypassing them entirely.
Right, you just crush the vessels flat. And research actually shows this active resting and rebounding movement from the gentle stretch keeps working for up to 7 hours after the massage.
7 hours. That's incredible. The sources also mentioned some support modalities too, like using castor oil.
Yes, castor oil is huge.
It says its molecular size is small enough to penetrate the skin barrier transdermally, so it absorbs directly into the tissue to chemically break down what the therapist describes as fudgy, sticky tissue.
That's such a visceral description. Right, fudgy tissue.
It really is. It breaks down that dense mucus that creates a literal sewage backlog. But a lot of people on the internet aren't doing gentle stretching or using castor oil packs.
No, they're not. They want a quick, aggressive fix.
Right, and here's where it gets really interesting. One of our sources shared a story about a client who demanded a super deep, trendy Brazilian drainage massage she saw online.
Oh, I remember this part.
Yeah. But the therapist felt the client's tissue and flat out refused to do it.
Yeah.
She told the client to go to a doctor immediately.
And this raises an important question about the double-edged sword of internet trends, right? Because that refusal likely saved her from severe internal damage.
Yeah, it turned out the client had massive, undiagnosed ovarian cysts.
Exactly. Treating the body like a tough knot that just needs to be pulverized with deep tissue or trigger point techniques that can cause severe harm.
Especially for people with certain underlying conditions, right?
Oh, absolutely. For patients with fibroids, PCOS, or fibromyalgia, deep techniques are highly contraindicated. The aggressive pressure can actually rupture cysts or trigger massive inflammation flares.
Wow. So applying a viral one-size-fits-all treatment can actually be incredibly dangerous.
It's extremely dangerous. Clinical applications have to be customized to an individual's unique internal environment.
So how do they customize the cleanse, so to speak?
Well, different conditions require radically different approaches. Take the difference between lymphedema and lipedema, for example.
Okay, what's the difference there?
So lymphedema is usually a surgical onset. Like lymph nodes were compromised or removed during a procedure, and that causes massive fluid swelling in an area.
Right.
But lipedema is genetic, and it's bilateral, meaning it happens on both sides of the body equally, usually in the arms and legs. It creates this dense, knotty fat tissue that actually traps proteins.
Oh, wow. So you can't just treat those the same way.
Not at all. You have to treat those two conditions very differently.
And beyond just diseases, the sources talked about oncology and post-surgical care too. Therapists use highly customized protocols for mastectomies, tummy tucks, facelifts, even hair transplants.
Yeah, the post-op application is huge. And then for clients with autoimmune conditions or, say, severe chronic fatigue, you wouldn't even start with manual drainage at all.
Really? Why not?
It's just too much for their nervous system to handle. You have to gently introduce movement through diet adjustments first, or maybe dry skin brushing.
Oh, the sources also mentioned using specialized compression equipment, right? Like a Balancer Pro suit.
Yes, exactly. You'd use a suit like that before ever laying hands on them for actual manual therapy. You have to prep the body.
Which brings up an incredible paradox from the sources, because we always associate this with swelling. But lymphatic issues aren't always a swelling issue. Sometimes they present as a dehydrated tissue issue.
Yeah, this completely changes how we look at it.
So what does this all mean for someone who doesn't look puffy at all?
Well, you can actually have stagnant fluid trapped inside dehydrated, inflamed fascia.
Fascia being that web of connective tissue holding all our muscles and organs together.
Right. When that fascia dries out and gets super tight, it traps the lymphatic fluid inside it. So it doesn't look like visible swelling on the outside, but it causes immense pain and stiffness on the inside.
Wow.
Yeah, optimizing your lymphatic system isn't just about managing a visible disease like swelling. It is absolutely foundational for general wellness and pain relief.
That is so eye-opening. So if you're sitting there right now listening to this, feeling constantly inflamed or dealing with unexplainable brain fog or stiffness, you really have to realize your body has a massive hidden sanitation network running just under the skin.
It's working all the time, or at least trying to.
Right. But chronic stress, toxic diets, and sitting at a desk all day are causing a literal sewage backlog in your tissues. And true healing doesn't mean finding the newest, most aggressive TikTok massage to pummel your body into submission. It really requires gentle, customized science.
It all comes down to giving the body the specific, safe environment it needs to rest, restore, and finally clear away the waste.
Absolutely. The sources reveal that the lymphatic system physically maps right through the bellies of our muscles, and it relies entirely on our physical movement to act as a pump. So I'll leave you with this final thought to ponder.
Okay, let's hear it.
If our society continues moving toward this hyper-sedentary virtual reality lifestyle, where we barely move our physical bodies at all, will we eventually have to medically engineer artificial ways to pump our lymphatic fluid just to survive our own technological advancements?